Hey everyone, welcome back to the Maelstrom. Today's video is the next entry in my beginner's notes series of videos, and it will be covering my personal favorite monster in the entire Monster Hunter franchise, the Lagombi. Look-wise, the Lagombi looks like a mix between a hare and a bear. He's classified as a fanged beast and first appeared in 2011's Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate. Moving on to the Hunter's Notes, Lagombi is rated a 1 star out of 10 in terms of threat level, which I kind of don't agree with. I feel like he's a bit more of a threat than he's given credit for, especially if you look at like a monster like Kuluyaku, which is rated a 2 star. I feel like Lagombi is just as, if not more, of a threat than Kuluyaku, but it's just my opinion, so anyway, moving on. In terms of body parts, Lagombi has 5 different parts you can attack. He has his head, his upper half, his foreleg, his abdomen slash hind leg, and of course, since Lagombi's got back, his rear. Out of the 5 parts, the only part that is actually breakable is his head. So if you're looking for some extra Lagombi parts, focus on his head, break it so you can get some extra material at the end of the hunt. In terms of attack effectiveness, according to the Hunter's Notes, if you're using a sharp weapon, attacks to Lagombi's rear will yield the most damage. Attacks to his head, using a bludgeon weapon, are most effective, as well as to a lesser extent, attacks to his rear. If you're using a long-range weapon, attacks to his head will provide the most damage. Lagombi is susceptible to a number of ailments, so if you're looking to inflict some ailments on him, poison, paralysis, and blast are at 3 stars, which means they're the most effective, while stun and fire blight are also fairly effective at 2 stars. Moving on to Lagombi's moveset, the first move we will be discussing is his slash attack. Lagombi will stand upright and do a forward moving single hand slash, alternating between his right and left paws. He may do this move in a set of 3, or it's possible that he may only do a single slash. The signal to look out for is Lagombi will stand upright and reach to one side of his body. He will pause for a brief second, so there is a small window for you to avoid the attack. So sticking with the theme of slash-based attack, Lagombi also has a cross-slash attack. Lagombi will lunge forward and slash at you with both paws. He will also be in an upright position for this attack, and will lean back slightly with both arms open to gather momentum before lunging forward. Next, we have Lagombi's charge attack. As the name implies, Lagombi will get on all fours and charge at you. This move covers a bit of distance and is fairly quick, so when you see him getting low on all fours, you might want to move out of the way. Let's take a look at Lagombi's Snowball attack next. So Lagombi has 3 variations of the Snowball attack. And do note that if you get hit by it, you may be afflicted with Ice Blight, which slows down your Water Bug recovery rate. In the first Snowball attack variation, Lagombi digs into the ground with both paws and pulls out a snowball, which he lobs into the air. The snowball will fall slowly and leave a mound of snow after hitting the ground. Running through the mound of snow will impede your movements, so do try to avoid them if possible. For the second variation, Lagombi throws a snowball ahead of him. He may throw just one snowball, or he may choose to throw another one after that. The signal to look out for is that Lagombi will be standing upright before he reaches to the ground on either side of his body. That's when he will pull out a snowball and hurl it forward. The final variation of the snowball attack is a giant snowball that barrels across the field. Lagombi will reach into the ground with both paws, exactly like the first variation, but instead of a small snowball, he will pull out a single giant snowball that slowly rolls across the field. The next batch of moves we will be discussing are Lagombi slides. He has two variations of this move, with the first one being a straight slide. In this variation, Lagombi will slide on his belly in a straight line across the field. He covers a fair bit of distance, and he may unleash successive slides, so be sure he has stopped before letting your guard down. The sign to watch out for is that Lagombi gets really low to the ground, pauses, before he comes barreling at you. In his second variation, Lagombi will slide in a circular pattern, hitting everything in the area before ending up back at where he started. There is a slight variation of this move where Lagombi does the slide, but he only goes part way and doesn't return to the point of where he started the move. Keep an eye out for his windup. While he is low to the ground, he curls up to one side to gain momentum. I have been carded by these moves before, so do pay attention and don't let your guard down. Okay, so Lagombi's final two moves in his moveset involves his rear and sitting on you. Whether you are attacking Lagombi from the rear because you have a sharp weapon and trying to go for some extra damage, or simply admiring the view, you are in danger of Lagombi sitting on you when you are behind him. He will literally just fall back on his rear and squash you. So keep an eye out for him wiggling his butt while he is standing upright, as that will indicate he's about to sit on you. And finally, Lagombi's last move makes him a threat from land as well as the air. He will leap into the air and come crashing down on his butt. If you were to avoid the initial impact, he will also do a roll which covers a fair amount of distance. Also beware that even if the initial impact does not hit you, you may be staggered if you were standing near the area where Lagombi landed. So the signal that Lagombi is about to unleash his attack is that he gets low to the ground and he wiggles his tail before he leaps into the air. Again, do pay attention to this move. It is probably his most devastating attack, and it is embarrassing to be carded because Lagombi sat on you. Well, that pretty much covers the beginner's notes for the booty shaking beast of the Tundra, Lagombi. Don't let the fact that he is a cuddly looking fella fool you. He can pack a punch and has a fairly diverse moveset. I hope that this video has given you a good overview of Lagombi. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to the channel to be notified of future beginner's notes videos. And as always, don't forget to enter the maelstrom. This is Kieran, signing off.